Excuse the background noise. The dog is eating things he probably shouldn't be, as usual. No change there then. We're going to talk about Charlie Cresswell. You may even get to see the dog. A few people have asked me, don't see much of Zippy. It's hard, to be honest with you. It's hard to record videos when he's in here because he's a year old now and he's really, mentally, he's still a pup, basically. So he's big, but he's big, but he's boisterous, basically. So anyway, yeah. I'm going to talk about Charlie Cresswell. Now, you need a Creswell at West Ham, quite frankly. The reason I'm going to talk about him today is not because I think we need a Creswell and not because, well, you'd have an easy song for him, actually, wouldn't you? Because you'd have, if you remember the old Creswell song, you just have to change the lyrics ever so slightly. So it would be, oh, Charlie Cresswell's magic, he wears a magic hat. He used to play for Millwall, he didn't fancy that. He wants to play with Bowen and Wan-Bissaka too. His name is Charlie Cresswell and he wears the claret and blue. It's easy, you've already got the song. It's all there, it's done. But it's not that, it's the fact we're in talks with him. I don't know how true this is. I should say it's actually been written on Caught Offside. And I've got to say, I would believe it more if it wasn't alongside an article that said West Ham are interested in Arsenal's Miles Lewis-Skelly. Lewis-Skelly! You know who he is, right? Obviously played for England, played really, really well for England. But he's not been getting into the Arsenal team too much recently, has he? He's been, well, he more or less plays with four centre-backs, doesn't he? He plays Calafiori and he plays with Timber there and obviously Saliba and Gabriel. So Miles Lewis-Skelly's not getting much of a look in, not in Premier League games anyway. And so the article goes, it says he wants to leave and West Ham are in the mix. We are not in the mix for Miles Lewis-Skelly. I'll tell you that now. We are definitely not in the mix for him, not at all. Why would we be? Why would Arsenal get rid of him? They're about to, well, I was just about to say they're about to win their first title. You don't know. They might capitulate. They don't, but they look likely and look favourites to win their first title in a long, long time. And part of that's down to the fact they've got a really, really strong squad. They're not going to dilute that. And why would West Ham? It's just not. To be honest with you, I think he probably would get into the team at the moment because, as I've mentioned on previous videos, I think that Malik Diouf's got a little bit of learning to do defensively. But we don't need him. We've got a young, talented left back who's obviously just going to get better and better. It would be stupid to do that. And we got one that thinks he's going to play for Real Madrid soon. So. Yeah, it's no nonsense. But that was alongside this article about Charlie Cresswell. But the Charlie Cresswell one, well, I do believe it more, and I want to believe it more because central defence is just such a necessity for West Ham at the moment. Yes, we've had a little bit of an uplift in terms of the central defence, right? They've, over the last two games, defensively, we've looked better. Todibo, in particular, has looked much improved, and you know, in patches, Kilman has looked better. I think it's an interesting dynamic with Kilman and Todibo because one of them's obviously Kilman's a £40 million player, and I think most would agree that West Ham have overpaid by paying £40 million for Kilman. The other one, Todibo, is a £35 million player. But I think because he played for Barcelona, because he's been capped by France, you're looking at it thinking, well, where is it? Where is the money? You think that probably the talent is there, but can we see that player? Will we see that? I don't think it surprised anybody if Todibo went and signed for, I don't know, Bayer Leverkusen or someone like that, and he went somewhere else and he looked like a £35 million player again. So basically there is value there. It's whether we can extract that value from him. I don't think we'll ever get £40 million worth of player out of Max Kilman, basically. So incrementally it looks like Nuno's made them both better. But my point here is we still need to improve it. Because, you know, you need good ingredients, right? And he can only do so much, Nuno. And what I love about Creswell is, and I mention this because we watched the under-21s, of which he was a big part of it when England won the Euro under-21s under Lee Carsley. Watched a lot of Creswell because we were linked with him during them. We were linked with Harvey Elliott. We were linked with Tyler Morton. We were linked with Hutchinson. We were linked with a few of these players that played so well in the under-21s in the summer. And Creswell looked like the real deal. He looked like a real leader. He looked like an attritional defender. I remember saying it at the time. He looks like he loves defending. And I think if there's one thing you can say about... Okay, possibly not Wan-Bissaka. Take him out of it because the one-on-one tackles, he clearly does enjoy. He relishes it. If you look at almost all of the other West Ham defenders, could you say they love the battle of defence? They love the gritty... You know, we don't have a Craig Dawson, do we? Well, Charlie Cresswell is that. And actually, he is, statistically, the best header of the ball in France at the moment, for Toulouse, basically. Before I go any further, Surfshark. If you've not got Surfshark, why not? Get Surfshark now. We got a 4-month free. For your first 4 months free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Surfshark's a VPN. If you don't know by now, you've not been paying attention, but I'll tell you very, very quickly. A VPN is the way that you can protect and encrypt all of your browsing data on the web, not just on your phone, but on your laptop, and also on any device you've got, because just by getting one single purchase... He's chewing a box. This is what he's doing. He's chewing a box. This is what he's chewing. I told you. He absolutely ransacks the place. Just by getting one single purchase of Surfshark, by using the discount code HammersChat, all one word, or using the link in the description below, we're going to allow you 4 months free of this just wonderful, wonderful product. Now, more than ever, you're going to need this because people are trying to nick your passwords. People are trying to steal your data. You might be using banking apps. You might have private stuff that you've got that you want to access online. You might just want to mask where you are in the world to gain access to other content. Surfshark will allow you to do all that. It's got an absolutely amazing interface on there. Go and check it out. Don't take my word for it. Go and Google it. Go and see if that's the case. Go and see if it's something you need. If you decide you do want a VPN, well, you're probably not going to find a better deal than the one that's below. Here's Zippy before we get on to Charlie Cresswell. Come here. Come here. Come here. There he is. There he is. Oh, Charlie Cresswell's magic. Is that right? There you go. Can you see? Good boy. I'm going to boot him out. I'm going to boot him out in a minute. There he is. Some people ask him where Zippy was. So for Toulouse, he is the best, statistically, the best header of the ball in France. Now, I don't know if that means he's getting more headers than everyone else. And I guess if Toulouse are under the cosh, he's doing a lot more defending, then you're going to see a lot more of that, aren't you? Or I don't know if he's just got more successful contested duels or anything like that. Whatever the case may be, he's a really, really good player. And he's a battler, he's a scrapper, and he's the type of player that West Ham need. But more than that, and I think more important than that, or as important, are leadership qualities. West Ham don't have this stuff in abundance. We really, really don't. And I don't just say it now and in hindsight. I was actually saying it in the summer when we were linked with him. I was talking about captaincy. I was talking about leadership. Now, do I think he'd come in and Nuno would appoint him as captain? No, I think that politically that's probably quite a tricky thing for West Ham to do and for Nuno to do. But I think somebody that can lead, that can take charge, this is really important. We've seen it relatively recently when Freddie Potts was introduced to the team. He's pointing and telling people where to go. He's shouting at people. He's demanding the ball. He's telling people to go into position. I've actually seen it a little bit with Fernandes as well, doing the same thing. Look at him sort of communicating. I know it was a little brief period, but communicating with Igor when he came on and telling him what he expects from him. This is really, really important. I mean, anyone that's played football at any level, you're always told by your coach, talk to each other, communicate. Never felt we were doing that. We were so good at it. We were so good at it under David Moyes, to be fair. To be honest, we were able to hear it because of COVID before they started filtering in the fake crowd noise. But you could really hear, and I remember saying at the time what a loud team West Ham were, how loud the bench were, how communicative players were. There were players like Angelo Ogbonna who I'd never perceived to be overly vocal players, and you thought, wow, they've really got something special about them there. We don't have much of that at the moment. We got some players with some grit and determination. Thomas Souček was one of them, but Thomas Souček is not a loud bloke. Thomas Souček is not demonstrative. Thomas Souček is not vocal. He's not verbal. Creswell is all of those things. He's got that grit. He's got that determination. He likes to battle. And he's dangerous. He's dangerous at set pieces. Obviously, up the other end, we've got plenty of players that are dangerous at set pieces, which could make West Ham concede a goal. He's really, really good. I think he scored 3 goals this season for Toulouse. I really like him. The only thing that worries me. There's nothing about him as a player at all. I mean, people have said that he's a little bit slow. He's not the quickest in the world, but I just don't. We're not going to be playing the high line that we've seen under some of the more recent managers. I think we need players that are going to defend the box, and he's one of those. So that bit I'm not worried about, not in the least at all. I think the only thing I'm worried about is maybe it's just a little bit convenient that we've already been linked with him, and now we've got a new manager who's apparently going to run recruitment through his favoured agent, George Mendes. You know, this is somebody that was scouted firstly under Lopetegui, so you'd have to say it was Lopetegui and Stuyton, and then supposedly under Potter and McCauley. The chances of us getting this guy over the line, I don't know. What I would suggest is if you actually look at Kilman, we were linked with Kilman while Moyes was still in the job, and we still went and got him. Look how long we were linked with quite a lot of the players. Actually, Carl Walker-Peters be a really good example, because Walker-Peters we were linked with for about 18 months under numerous different managers, and we still went and got him anyway. So we'll see. We'll see. That in itself will bring up its own questions as to who's buying and selling the players, but sometimes you sort of don't mind, and that's the thing. It can be a little bit double standard, certainly on my own part. Do I want Will Salthouse involved in transfers? No way, certainly not. Do I want Will Salthouse involved in transfers if he's going to bring us Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Yeah, actually, I don't mind that so much. So yeah, I can be a little bit contradictory with that. If it brings in Charlie Cresswell, I think this would be a really good fit. And all you hear at the moment really is West Ham want a striker and we want a midfielder. Agreed, right? Let's do both of those things. But I would actually argue that the defence is as urgent as those, and probably more urgent than the midfield with the situation we're in at the moment. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below.